declare that carried. Thank you very much. Thank you, Brendan. And next we have the draft submission on transitioning to a low emissions and climate resilient future. Oh, they're just on their way? Okay, so we've got the discretionary response fund. So Sam. Welcome, Sam. Microphone, sorry.
Just quickly introducing the report. There's been a couple of little changes since it was written. So 2 previously approved grants, the events have cancelled, and so those grants will be withdrawn. They hadn't been paid. Now those are for Attitude Awards and for Grow Aotearoa. So we're keeping in touch with those groups and working with them, but the grants won't be paid. Therefore, the available balance is not 54,000 but 69,000, and should you approve the staff recommendation, the available balance will be 49,000. Okay. Additional to that, we're looking at the pipeline of applications to the DRF, and there's a lot of need. You've heard earlier today of that, and applications continue to come through. So staff have looked at the Capital Endowment Fund. We're managing that process for community organisations to apply to it, and we'll be bringing you eligible applications in March. We believe that based on the number of applications that are in the pipeline at the moment, there's a little bit of surplus there that we could consider putting towards the DRF to meet the demand that's there. So on the 9th of December, we'll bring you a report to Council to consider that as an option. And with perfect timing, I now introduce Jamie Hanton, who's one of our community arts advisors. He's been with Council about a year, but this might be the first time he's presented to you. To very briefly introduce the application that we're looking at today.
Thank you.
Tēnā koutou. I'm Jamie Hanton, a community arts advisor. Just speaking to the RDU application for the Aotearoa Access Music Program. So RDU has been operating since 1976, supporting local music sector as a student radio station and community events organiser that plays emerging and established bands from across all genres. It currently receives recurrent operating funding for its core business of running a radio station from New Zealand on air. In this role, it has supported countless bands and presenters to progress their careers and develop their practices by giving them much needed experience. This application represents an exciting shift in their strategy, as they have recently undertaken an ambitious refit of the Beatbox studios in the Salt District to support a range of community-focused programs, as well as create a sustainable business model offering commercial hire of studios. This refit project has recently achieved its crowdfunding goal of $50,000, evidence of wide community support for a tricky capital expenditure program. And this application, which covers staffing and marketing costs, seeks to support those who are unable to afford commercial studio rates, with the proposed funding representing a total subsidy for 20 local acts to produce new musical work. It has a direct and measurable outcome of 20 new pieces of music in 1 year, and this result alone represents excellent value for money at just over $1,000 per track, with the station able to absorb and cover other operational costs. In addition to this output, RDU is offering wraparound support for the acts with mentoring and support that covers technical music production, business advice around distribution and royalties for those artists who would otherwise miss out on this opportunity. I'm happy to take any questions around things.
Great, thank you for that. Do we have any questions on this? Aaron?
Yeah, why is this here when it's already covered by New Zealand On Air and others that you can get money from to record songs?
To apply to New Zealand On Air, you need to have a pretty strong track record. So this program is designed to help those who may not have that. They may not have access to studios and other equipment. So there are New Zealand On Air funds for more established bands and people who have that access, but this is targeted at those who may not have that access.
Right. Didn't we put a recording studio in the library?
Yes, but that's not a music-specific studio. There's professional technicians there, right, but they don't have the experience around what it might look like to release a track and have it get airplay around the country or internationally that RDU does.
Right.
Tim's happy to move. Do I have a seconder? Pauline? Any further questions? No? Any debate? Tim?
Yeah, look, thank you. I'm really happy to support this. This is the first leg up of a lot of young people because New Zealand On Air, there are some gaps there. They do a fantastic job, but there are gaps, and it's not just in this field, it's musical theatre right across. So this is a really good start. They also cross-pollinate and give the ARAs broadcasting students, the guys who are starting their careers as DJs, time on air. So it's really part of the community. And we saw that especially after the earthquake, which was outstanding. So I'm really happy to support this, and I hope you do too. Thank you.
Thank you. Aaron, and then Anne, and then Celeste.
I'll be the Grinch that didn't steal Christmas, but I will say basically the opposite to Tim. I'm not sure how many people in this room have had music played on RDU. I certainly have. And our band went and recorded it in a studio and gave it to RDU and all the other student networks, and had you got played on all of them, plus other stations. You submit your tracks to New Zealand On Air. They put them on compilation CDs that go out. So there is ways to do it. Everyone in our band got a job, worked for about a day, gets you into a recording studio to record a song. It's not hard to do. So go out, work hard, record your songs, and give them to radio stations. Many artists from this country have gone on to be really successful, and it's welfare for artists. And to be honest, I'm not that into it. I'd rather teach artists how to make money and how to be professional. Yes, part of this is that, so I do support that aspect of it, but paying for the recording part, I don't. But the step-up part, I do support, and I think, if anything, that's the program we should be doing, not just paying for them to record songs. Get a job for a day, record your song. It's not hard.
Anne.
Kia ora. Having had experience of one of my kids being involved in developing their own musical career through something like this, I totally support this. I think that it identifies gaps in terms of support for young artists, and it also reduces barriers for them to go on and build their careers. So very supportive. Thank you.
Celeste.
I'm very supportive of this. I'm quite familiar with the work that RDU has done to support emerging artists, and I think Christchurch has a particularly strong reputation for its music scene, and young artists are businesses. They're adding value to the community in a lot of ways, and a lot of artists who are business owners are struggling, and I think we have to recognise this is a different landscape for them, and they're operating often as sole traders, expected to do a lot in this environment. So yeah, whatever we can do to support that initiative, and I commend you guys for the work that you've currently done, because you've been on the scene for a long time, and you've made it through the earthquakes and other times that have been particularly challenging. So yeah, I'm fully in support.
Thank you. Anything further? Okay, in that case I'll put the vote. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Any against? No. Okay, Sam and Aaron and Catherine and Phil. Okay, I declare that carry. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay.